10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They go play action with Wilson. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. But keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's football 101 because when you come in as the favorite team, you obviously don't want to hand any kind of advantage to an opponent ready for an upset. Now, you'll be lucky to only be down 3-zip the next time you get the ball back because you've just handed them a dose of confidence to start this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run right here with Swift. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 22. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll try and run here with Swift. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The first time out, they had the interception. That stopped their drive 3 points the other way, so now they work from behind.
They do, but he's got to walk out on the field like he's working from ahead. All right, he's got to walk out like, hey, I just threw a touchdown pass, because all eyes on his team are on him. They gain their confidence from the way he reacts, his demeanor, and how he plays. He's got to show that he has confidence in himself.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, they're going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here, followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Pollard again. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Broncos at 5-4 now on the year. But Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Wilson. He's got a man, complete. A big 30-yard play on third.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Collins, complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
To the air on 1st down. Here's Willis. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. First down, and they go with Swift again. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, it's Swift. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Third down, it's Willis. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. A lot of people talk about how difficult it is to play in the high air here in Denver, but one group of folks who most definitely don't mind that, kickers, and that one, CD, a career long.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon, because they envy guys like Matt Prater, Brandon McManus, who have spent their careers here. They get to spend a bulk of their time kicking at altitude, and they absolutely love it. So when you get a chance to visit and do it yourself, you feel great about that opportunity.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw again is Wilson. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Willis to throw on second. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Willis on 1st and 10. Finding Williams once more. Complete. Touchdown. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. The extra point up and good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Here's Wilson to throw. Swinging this out for Pollard. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That's complete. It's Collins. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're not panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Steps away to his left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Ready, set. Set, Panther. 19 Tiger.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 58 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
19 tight.
To the air on 1st down. Here's Willis. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Check pass, check pass.
From the 45 on second down, Willis. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Amari Cooper, 45 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point safely through. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. 58 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Third and long, it's Wilson. Being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Now a give here to Pollard. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Going to run again here with Pollard. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So that, Charles, their first score of the ballgame, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, here's Swift. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Play action. Here's Willis. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Detroit. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Swift. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Swift again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Hey, Reno!
Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there. 26 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, A loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Javon Hargrave picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Second and 9 now from the 21.
Seven Pirates. 60 Bison.
Back to throw, Willis. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Willis on 1st and 10. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Aiden Hutchinson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game, it could very well turn out to be the shocker of the weekend. Not too many expecting them to come in here and win. And they're not just winning, they're dominating. And now trying to finish this one off. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
3rd down, it's Willis. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber?
He's got a man, complete. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
70 Rangers. Warriors 70.
On 1st down, Willis. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Lions, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12.